Fucking eerie ass. This sounds and looks like it could be a fucking indie horror game. Like, Jesus. Jesus. Anyone had heard Monokuma's I can't read. I can't read this morning. I don't know why. As soon as we were all here.
Monokuma appears!
Why?
Wrong.
No, not modification. It's just that. Why though? I'm moving so fast it looks like I'm multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get it?
Boy, tough crowd.
Stop talking.
I like how no one. He's like, okay, fine.
Hey!
He wanted a joke crowd. Everyone's just like, we're not in the mood. Go away. Now that everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go. Please.
I'm not meant to be prepared yet. You're never meant to be prepared. Wow. Wow.
What the heck?
She's so broken. She's just angry and wanted to take out anyone. How unfortunate.
Hey.
Isn't the place to talk about that? Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
Only one of those characters I'm sad about losing. Only one of those characters I'm sad about losing. And with how minimalistic the cast is getting, there's going to be someone here I'm going to be sad to lose. If it's Hero, I'll be less sad. I doubt it's you. Doubt it's you. Could be. Don't want it to be. I mean, if you go, then it's no big loss. Don't want it to be you. Doubt it's you. Like my only people that I'd be like, okay, like I can see how and why. A Celeste, Hero, but it's obviously a setup, so it can't be Hero. Toko can't handle blood. Okay, by that logic, it limits it to Celeste, and I'm not okay with that. We're going by logic of like, I don't think I can't see how or why, and you wouldn't need a hammer. No, just no. You're having too much fun. Probably not. Doubtful. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Damn.
Carefree attitude, yep.
Just the worst.
As Serpent goes, we can make Hero pay for all his crimes. Well, you're listening? Yep. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial is over in no time. Yep.
Hey.
This one begins when we get down there. It wasn't me, you gotta believe me.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it. There has to be a localization thing. I can't imagine in the original Japanese she referred to him as Big Mac. Those closed on their own, still both began to move. Look at this fucking screen dwindle. Look at this screen dwindle. Yeah, there's no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid opening up to a cruel fate. Oh, I see all of you gathered together like this. I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life has slowly reached its climax. Only because of you. Why you got making us do such cruel things to each other? What? You really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
I mean, Teddy's cute and I hate him too. Morgana's cute and I hate him too. You know who I don't hate? I don't hate Koromaru, the only good mascot character, because he can't talk and he's great. Hey, actually, of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed cast trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. Let's have the curtain opened once again. Deadly. You're gonna overuse the fucking word deadly. I swear to God. Yeah, we gonna save this shit. We gonna save this shit. We need save spots for this shit. Okay, set skills. Set my shit. Okay. I don't really have a reason to deselect skills ever. From what I can tell, like when you get all the skills, sure, but I have no reason at the moment to deselect skills ever.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
I think we know this by now.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I think we get it by now.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
Was that? What?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
I forgot she had the French accent. Oh, okay.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
Like I legit forgot how it sounded.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
You're one to talk.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence.
Do we?
Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
It's also extremely flawed because of the penmanship, and why would it be out in the open like that?
Points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
No, he's not. Too clear of a setup. Ah, yeah, penmanship. Here we go. Pen that shit.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
I know what I was supposed to shoot. I wanted to hear it out. Yeah, handwriting, I know.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
No, that's wrong.
Biatch.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Don't fucking say Alter Ego disappeared while in front of Monokuma. I'm like, we know that he probably knows by now, but don't seal the deal.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Why would he?
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
This is true.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
I do not.
And he is not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Taka?
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
Well, yeah. Being the prime suspect doesn't mean that you did it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
The dolly.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
The dolly.
Makoto, can you tell us what
Why are
they were?
Kyoko and you like this? Instead of being like, okay, here's this, and this. You're like, okay, here's this, but Makoto though. But Makoto though. It's like, you know. Both of you are just like, okay, I have all of these bullet points listed off, but fuck you, Makoto, go! It's like, why? Why?
I got it! I got it!
Ah, yeah, we're combining evidence now.
Right? So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository.
What happened there? He said no, he had that no reaction, and then there was a sound of like, you got it wrong. But it's continuing anyway.
And when we found it for the second time, it was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
I mean, fair point.
Is it possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
I mean, fair point, but Makoto made a point, and the game made a point of pointing out to me that it moved.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
Why are you like this?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh, fuck off. Jesus, why are you like this to me?
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
This is true. Why? How is there more? Oh my, reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the rest. How much more can you add? Oh my god. On bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, there's an ammo count. Until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how... Oh my god. So from now on, just locking on Empress and Trunga won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing square. Just like locking on, you'll have to press square in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that. I don't need this. I don't need this. Oh my god, okay, so now, alright. This hurts. This, why do you keep adding? This,
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Wow.
I cannot agree.
Bae, why are you so rude?
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you.
Bae, why must you hurt me? Why must you physically hurt me?
This should prove it.
Why must you physically hurt me, madam? How dare you? So rude!
Asking for proof that the dolly moved. I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Apparently.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I know.
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
You can't bend down. Can't bend over. You cannot bend over. It's been said, bending over cannot be done.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Accurate.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Also accurate.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
Yep.
then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
How's that not the one?
Shoot!
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
And from there,
Yeah, then loaded it on...
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Okay, that's the one.
Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Yeah, I wanted to hear the whole thing. I get it.
as we know, and from there,
Yeah, then loaded it on...
now, keep in mind that...
Well, yeah,
All you'd have to do is bend over. No, it's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
what do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Yeah, can't bend over. Can't do shiz.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
it seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Fair.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
No, because of the clasp on the back.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
This is true, but I'm noticing a trend. I'm noticing a trend where the person who happens to be involved in this case becomes far more vocal. You were not this vocal in any other case. And they're like, hey, wait a minute, Makoto, you're wrong. Shut up, no, shut up with your evidence. Shut up, boy. Ah, god damn it.
If whoever was in
Damn it, Celeste!
is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
I mean, this is true.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
Accurate.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
Again though, she was attacked with a hammer, dodged, and then took a picture with Hifumi's camera somehow, and then apparently passed out, and the killer didn't make sure she was dead.
As it turns out, it was Robo Justice.
Okay.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
And Celeste also happened to be at the right place at the right time, and she happened to be the one to call out the sightings.
We decided to
Just saying.
and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
and then...
Here's my only hole in the Celeste Did It saga. It's she was here with us when Hifumi got bludgeoned. So how? That's the only hole in my. Is this bitch? Is this French bitch?
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi.
Here's the hole in that logic, though. It didn't go off until Makoto showed up. So it's like it didn't, the announcement didn't happen until Makoto showed up and found Taka's body, which point it would have been Sakura, Toko, Byakuya already finding that body. Announcement didn't go off. Makoto found their body with them already there. Thing went off. Which I don't know, because it's like if it went off the first time for Taka, not Hifumi, like we're led to believe, when Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura found it, then the second one wouldn't have made sense, because it would go off when Hifumi's body was gone. But that the only people, Celeste and Hina, and that's 2. I don't know.
Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Celeste is on the right places at all the right times.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
This is true.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Okay, contradictions. Hammer order comes to mind, but I'm not sure. That's vague.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Possible.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
No, we don't.
Taka came last.
Did he?
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
God.
Shoot!
So, I wonder if or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, regarding... I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
God! Son of a...
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering...
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in.
So, regarding Taka's...
Wait.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was.
We already know what order they were killed in.
There we go.
Taka came last
I was like, wait, I'm missing something.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go. I knew there was something I was missing there. Click. I remembered. Time that bullshit.
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
You mean the watch? The wristwatch? Come on. I'm not sure what the I think yellow is 3 shots, orange is 2, red is 1.
I've got it! Taka's wristwatch! See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Yeah, that shit was working, bruh. That shit was working, bruh.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
So we're saying that it might have been backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
This one I still need to know about. Unless that screen was... No, yeah, okay, I don't know. I don't know about this one. This is the one. This is the one piece of this case where I'm like, I have no answer. I can't.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office. And that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
Why?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room. And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
I'm sorry, love. How did you pronounce his name? How did you pronounce Taka? I'm sorry, love. I'm sorry, my gothic princess. How did you pronounce that?
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either
I love
of
the
their
fact. I love the fact that like Genocide Jill, a straight up known serial killer, is here in this situation, and everyone is like, okay, moving on. And like we know for a fact, they had nothing to do with any of these murders. Known serial killer, nothing to do with any of these murders. There's something about that.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
How about you explain yourself, bitch? How about you fucking explain yourself?
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
How about you explain yourself? How about that?
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
I think we need to figure out how about you gonna suck this dick and answer some questions. Cause seriously, bitch, you need to start answering some questions. Where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you, madam?
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Because he was alive!
What? How?
Maybe.
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yeah!
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
I mean, let's say Celeste is the one that tried to kill him. If Celeste was staying around his body, he would have reason to play dead. And yes, I'm going by Celeste did it.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
Why?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
How?
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
And this is the inconsistency I've been pointing out.
The body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was
Intended to signal someone else's discovery.
God damn.
shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was actually...
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement
Was intended to signal someone else's
discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was
actually still alive?
What is the broken broken wristwatch?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about maybe
The announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Nah, okay.
Shoot!
No, this one is fucking with me. This one is fucking with me. Contradiction there somewhere.
Saying that when we
Broken
first found
wristwatch.
Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive.
Fuck it, go for it. No.
Shoot!
So there is some time bullshit. So there is a contradiction time bullshit thing. Why would they assume Makoto? I had no idea. But
I refuse to give up yet!
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was actually...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Shortly, you heard the body discovered Hifumi's dead body had been found.
And that is... Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi and there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead,
And you know that how?
shortly you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's
Dead body had been found.
okay, they can loop around. Time bullets can loop around. Okay, I thought we reload.
The announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I thought we reload. They loop around. Oh my god.
Of course it was. The
That
announcement
was simple.
played
Why
right
did I not?
after we discovered his body.
I assumed it would reload to the regular broken wristwatch bullet.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
Yeah. So it didn't go off for Hifumi because we didn't find a dead body because he wasn't dead.
Answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Because that's when we found Hifumi's death.
Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Close, but no.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Glasses,
Okay
bitch.
then. Let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
Glasses,
Then it should
bitch!
become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Glasses, though! There we go, glasses!
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
He was alive, though.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Boy! Shoot that shit out of the sky! Be gone, foot!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt
I can't believe that's a
but
name.
Hifumi would have brought something like this to
I
school.
still can't believe that's the name of a
I
thing.
see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Won't you be a massive weeb in secret?
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
Why are you here? You have never contributed to anything!
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Well, it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Ah.
I got it!
Okay, okay.
Been Hifumi.
I'm not with you here.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
Yeah, but why
It
though?
also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
But why though? Because... But why though? And why is Celeste being so suspicious about this
He
shit?
convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Again though, this bitch is like, hey, though, I could tell you, but let's not.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Are we going by English use of the word pants, or are we going by American use of the word pants? Because if we're going by American, that just means it could have been in his pocket. So what's the problem? If we're going by English use of the word pants, then... might get a little bit of ball sweat on that note. Might want to watch out about handling that. So it's like, which use of the word, what vernacular are we using for that comedy there?
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants, why?
I got it!
Hifumi's pants was
That's
a
right.
fucking option.
Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
TikTok and Huffy.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Because they make no sense. Oh god, no! Oh god, no, why?
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But
God.
remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Bitch!
No, that's wrong.
Bitch! TikTok though, really?
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
Okay, so Hifumi killed Taka probably because of alter ego, and then someone killed Hifumi, possibly Celeste killed Hifumi because lol, fuck it, why not? I don't know.
Further objections?
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
He he stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
This motherfucker. This motherfucker. This motherfucker.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yeah.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
But then why did Hifumi call out Hiro upon his death?
In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the actual fuck up,
Sorry,
Hiro.
no.
Why are you here?
In the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Walrus?
Who
What?
are you calling a walrus?
Is it because she's likes water and there's blubber and flotation involved? I don't. I'm trying to make connections
Anyway,
here.
when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
Breathing.
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
The wet hammer,
the
bruh.
culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
Look how angry Jill is from behind.
Wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
That's gonna be the only time in this entire game where Hiro has a decent human thought.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammer? Personally, I haven't a clue.
Of course you don't.
Which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those
None.
were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Clean hammer, bruh. It's the clean hammer, bruh. Bruh, listen. There we go.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
God damn. God damn. So have your seriously adorably serious face off. Okay, Jesus. Calm down, madam.
What was used? Was it just maybe Justice?
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well,
I'm gonna Google that.
pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
I'm gonna Google that.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Probably the one who Hifumi was indentured servitude towards, because he's a masochist who loves his waifus. He's made anime waifus. I can't believe this is a thing.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't
The way
you?
the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true, it is,
That is.
But that only really applies if there's, in this case, however, there were two murders.
We looping round, boys.
based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming
The rule holds true.
Bitch,
No, it's wrong.
be gone!
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Yeah.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Now, you say that, there's one person here who's distinctively cruel.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Nah, not really. He's easily tricked because waifus. Yeah, we get it. Put your dick away, Jesus.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
Ah, yeah, my boy!
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit from brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
And there goes the accent!
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Okay. Okay. I like how the accent went then. Like, none of that French bullshit. She's too angry for that.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Shoot!
Okay, I thought it was there because her screaming was odd. But no, okay.
Got it!
I thought it was a trick thing.
The behavior
But no,
they had
okay.
in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Spoiler alert. She's called the Queen of Lies. This was one of the first things I said when we found her not dead by a killer. And Queen of Lies. Think about that. Queen of Lies.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Okay, that's why. That's why he let out the screen well. Okay. Alright. Okay, game.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I'll be honest, that slipped me by. That tidbit slipped me by.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
Whose idea was it to leave?
Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Okay, I legit saw this as her breaking down, but alright.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Yes.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto.
Uh-huh.
Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office.
Accurate.
Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Okay, here I don't agree with. Because they're going to single out the phrase, those guys. I saw that, and I took it as everyone. Mondo, Junko, fucking Chihiro. I assumed it was everyone, because it's a very simple phrase. These guys, those guys. Because people have died, sir.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
No, it wasn't. It was completely in place, considering the history that we've gone through. To say we're all gonna die like those guys in a place where several people have died, that's not an out of place comment.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
I don't.
Although I don't really
I disagree with your logic. I get trying to tie this up, and I disagree with your logic.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
I don't agree to your logic here.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I'm gonna take you, but
All I said, they
must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I disagree. I disagree so strongly.
We must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively. We are all going to die here.
I'm not following. I deeply disagree. I deeply disagree. I'm not following. Like, I get what they're trying to get at, but because I'm not on their level, I don't get it.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
I don't. They've made a leap in logic that I can't follow.
All said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened. They must be positively. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I don't. I get what they're trying to set up, but it doesn't work. It's wrong. It's wrong, though.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
Yeah, because, you know, Sayaka and Chihiro and Junko's deaths didn't exist, apparently. So, alluding to prior deaths in a place where prior deaths have taken place is clearly out of place and incorrect. This is factually wrong.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was
There
dead.
had been deaths prior. 2 culprits and 3 deaths. That's 5 deaths. 5 deaths prior. She's not wrong in what she said. This last piece is factually incorrect.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all
This
out
is
in the hall.
factually incorrect.
So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
Factually incorrect, though.
So how did you know, Celeste?
Because 5 people died prior.
How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
I can't. I'm just gonna let this play out.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
He was also unconscious at the time. So he was unconscious, you put him in the suit, you and Hifumi framed the picture. Done.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
Why would you know that?
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Nope.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oh wow. Oh well, bitch coming back with fire! Bitch coming back with fire!
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
What do you mean? What do you mean? How did I get stand up straight? What?
You dressed me up in that suit after then you just draped it. You tried to make me look
like I said, as you can see in the picture. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
Oh no, okay, yeah, I get it. I get it, because if they're unconscious they can't bend, they can't slouch. Okay.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box? Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Oh wow, her voice is fucking up hard. She can't. She's losing it. She can't keep the facade.
Said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Oh, she's losing it. She's losing it.
But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Jeez! Jeez! Jeez!
Kyoko, what do you mean by
What happened to her?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
Oh.
One person it could apply.
Celeste's real name.
And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you?
Okay, this is great. This is amazing. This is amazing. Her breakdown and everything. This is great.
Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Question, madam. Give me your handbook. Give me your handbook. Madam, handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
Shit.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
Jesus, it's upside down. Okay, gee, okay.
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, it's wrong.
Bitch.
That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Oh yeah, we have my most fun part. We have my most fun part where I fuck up repeatedly. Okay. Why is that here? Why is that here? Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Wait, no. Wait, no. No. 2. The library was hit with 2. Then... Justice Hammer 3. And then... Moving the body. I don't know what this is about. Like, hey, I'm a good boy, you love me, right? Yay, and then Dead Man. Then Dead Man Wonderland. Okay, okay, let's give this a shot.
Exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3.
What is this Sailor Moon reference going on here?
And turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
What's with this? What's with this? What is this? What?
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
What is this?
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Okay, there we go. Okay, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Okay, fair enough, madam.
Interesting.
Alright then. Okay, that was a situation that took place. That was a chain of events that had happened. How do these ranks get sorted? What decides ranks?
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
And she's just like, aight, fuck it, I got caught.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
I like the fact that, like, Leon, the first guy, was just like, no, I refuse, right up until we died. Everyone else just like, yeah, I got caught. Fair enough, I've lost. Well, one was like, yeah, I'm scum. Wasn't my fault. I kinda heat at the moment, but yeah. Alright. And this one's just like, alright, well, look, I took a gamble and I lost. Alright, cool. I like that. I like how, apart from Leon, they're all just, they're like, okay, fine. They're just accepting. They're like, yeah, alright.
And when the votes are tallied, who will become the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Also, can't help but notice how the bullet time battle was at the start, not at the end. I completely forgot that we've gone back to non-spoken text. Okay, it's basically formatted at this point, but once again, you are totally correct. A Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or most precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I don't have to lie to get... Well, I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Didn't you use, you know... Oh god, implications. Wait, what? I knew you figured it out, Kyoko. Yeah, absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice...
Indeed.
I used her. Who? For everyone who's still left, I've avoided mentioning it by name, but... It was one thing Hifumi and Tak... Oh, okay. You stole Alter Ego. Okay.
Say what?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop.
In other words.
Then you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again? Last night, after we had our meeting and how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. So, what are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It was about what was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I've taken, you know what? I like how, like, she's lost, but she's not being bitter, and she'll not be like, yo, Monokuma. But no, she's just like, she's being on the level. I love that. I love that.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me, he threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
As for me...
He came into my room last night unannounced and then... It's hard for me to even say. Oh, God. Ah, God. Ah, that's a good lie. That's a good lie. Ah, Jesus. Jesus, woman. Wow. Wow. And if...
What?
I don't even want to read that out loud, but God! Woman! Oh my God! These lies! This web of lies! Oh my...
Damnation!
Oh my God, Celestia! Taiko, why? Also, how did Hifumi know your surname? Why did you tell Hifumi your real name? I don't know, wow though.
Completely unforgivable!
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Most unfortunate. Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? What do you mean? Taka is going to try to kill you.
Indeed.
And if he... and also he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
Actually...
Then, would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan. Huh? I've devised a way to reclaim what we have stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. This woman. This woman, though. Jesus. You feel me? Oh, shit. Oh, well. Power of love, even a love as twisted as that can drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me, yeah. Girl, Jesus. I love you, but wow.
I see.
Another question for you. Was it that strange costume? Yeah, was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah. It was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So I decided to make me the suspect. Because you're stupid. Understandable.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity passed my every expectation. Mine must have been tough on your parents, huh? Wow. I feel like I'm gonna cry. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, did you explain the part about him playing dead? What I'm asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you'd actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once everyone showed up, I told him that I told him to say that he'd been seriously wounded and that he was on the verge of death. But he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Fumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Fumi would have had an alibi so no one could doubt him. I told him that and he believed it. It's not very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie on the level of the opponent. In fact, Fumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So he planned to kill them all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No.
that.
He derives his own pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Dad, what made you take things this far?
what the heck?
Was it really just for the money? They're talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us. That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not what there is to it. From that moment, our new life began here. My only thought has been escape.
But
all along, you've been saying how we should accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that's a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you know why?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life where I would... accepting life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there's no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of Grambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical
As
killing.
for me,
It was all for that dream. And what's that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Fuck, of course. Of course it was. Alright. Alright, okay, once I attained that, I would create a perfect aesthetic. I would have created a perfect... I can't get out. The guy is serving her wine that looks like blood. Oh, after I said that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of
This
decadence.
is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. I can't get over this. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made my dream a reality. I got right on the edge, but
There is nothing to be
unfortunately
done.
my dream has been scattered into the wind. I can't get over that. That's what this was for. That's what this was for! Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end. So why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
I ask me if I feel guilty. It's a pointless endeavour. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
what is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realise you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. Not just other people, I can even form my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. Because she's lying. Because she's lying to herself. Jesus. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I'd like to come back as Marie Antoinette. You can't reincarnate in the past.
Hey,
You just get executed again. That's also true. That's also true. So let's smile then. And when she did, it looked like a poor effort. Yeah, there. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings. But that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Chills!
All done?
Chills!
Okay, let's get rolling. The Blackened disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
What?
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone.
I don't like how even the killers I like as characters. Ah, Celeste, why? Oh, it hurt bad enough when Mondo, he became one of my favourite characters, but Celeste, why? Ah, and this real Celeste is coming out at the end, and I like a real Celeste. Oh my god, why?
Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Celeste! Why? Taika! Why? Ah, they're gonna burn the witch. Oh god, that's awful. Oh god, that's awful. Oh god, that's awful. They're gonna burn her alive. Oh god, no. Oh god. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Oh, fuck off. I'm genuinely unhappy. I am actually a lot more unhappy than I thought I would be. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. I don't like this game. I don't like this game. Oh. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but... also, I can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free their regrets from the outside world, and more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. Yeah, you need to place more value in your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Oh god, I'm so unhappy. Ah, jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you'll let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is. But it's reality, it can't help be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Yeah, what's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What'd you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mask sign did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although, it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but... What's that key Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's a key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
And that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Or then let's go check.
Indeed.
Good idea.